What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Nexus, and today I'm doing my almost 3 months Nintendo Switch 2 console review, and I'm super excited to get into this with you guys. I've had such an amazing time with this console so far, and I'm so excited to just tell you guys everything about it. And you know, I'm not going to be one of those people who's like a diehard Nintendo fan, and I'm not going to say that everything is absolutely perfect with this console, because it's not. Nothing is going to be absolutely perfect with it, but I do think that this console overall is a great console and a great step up, especially if you're a Switch 1 owner like me and you had one for a very long time. This is a huge upgrade, and I'm very excited to get into it with you guys, so let's go. Alright everybody, so to jump in, let's just go over my kind of like setup and everything that I've bought with the console and all of the games I have on it, so that you guys can have some perspective on what I've been doing on this thing. So first of all, here is my Nintendo Switch 2 console. I absolutely love the design of it, and I'm sure you guys have been watching all sorts of reviews about this console. Like, this console is so sleek, and the design is just very, very nice and premium. I really like the, I don't know if it's matte black, but it is definitely like, you know, of a black color all around the console. And we've got the orange here, or the really light red, I guess, and the cyan blue over here. I really like that color combination with this console this time around. I love the magnetic Joy-Cons that you can just slide on and off, which I think is super, super cool. It's a super cool add-on to this console, and it's a really nice system, and it's very satisfying. And it's a big upgrade over the rail system, in my opinion, on the Nintendo Switch 1. So here also is my box for the Nintendo Switch 2. This I unpacked on June 6th, so a day later than the console came out, which I was kind of upset about, but I mean, it wasn't a big deal because it was only just one day, right? So here's the box. I already unboxed that. With the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm not upgrading to the Switch 2 Pro controller yet. It's just a little too expensive for me right now, and I just don't really feel like getting it, because I have this Splatoon 3 Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and I really like this one. I got this off of Amazon a while ago, and I really like it. I've been using that usually when I play in docked mode, and yeah. Here's the Nintendo Switch 2 grip. Use that a lot as well when I'm doing, have two players. And over here, right here, is the Nintendo Switch 2 dock, which is currently plugged into my TV. So here's the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. I really like this as well. I love that you can play games and all that kind of stuff in 4K now, although not all games support it. At least it's there, and this dock is helping you do that. So I really like the dock. I also got an Ethernet cable and plugged it into my router, which is also nice for fast connections. And then I also got off of Amazon this Nintendo Switch 2 case here, which I can show you guys. This case is pretty nice. It's got a really nice feel to it, and it holds my Switch 2 well. And in this case as well, I forgot to take out my mouse straps here, or the Joy-Con 2 mouse straps. So this is the best way to use the Joy-Con 2s as a mouse, which is another feature I have personally really liked, especially for games like Civilization 7, which I also have. So I really like that, the mouse feature. And of course, here's all my Switch games in here, and I don't have any Switch 2 physical games yet, but I'll have to think about if I want to do mostly digital just this generation. It just depends, so I'll be thinking about that. All right, now what you guys have been waiting for. This is the software I have on my Nintendo Switch 2, which I can show you guys. So I have Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. I just got Donkey Kong Bonanza actually recently, and I'm not currently finished with the game as of this review being recorded right now. So I'll definitely be doing a review on Donkey Kong Bonanza eventually. Here is Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition. We just got Madden 26 a few days ago, and that's fine because that just came out on the 14th, I believe. Today it's the 18th, I think. And here we also have Civilization 7, and then here is most of the other stuff is just Switch 1 games. I do have No Man's Sky Switch 2 Edition as well, though, right here. So that is awesome. And that's really all I've been playing so far. So I've played, just to go over, Mario Kart World, not finished with Donkey Kong Bonanza, loved Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition, Madden 26, not my type of game, but I have siblings who play it. Civilization 7, I've been liking that one. And of course, all the other Switch games that I've had. So yeah. Alright everybody, so first off, I'm going to be talking about the design of this thing, and I guess like the quality of it, the quality of the system and all the accessories that came with it. So, first of all, as I was saying a little bit before, this console is very premium, and you're definitely getting what you pay for in terms of quality of the design when you're paying $450 for this thing. And in my case, I paid $500 with Mario Kart to get Mario Kart World with it at a discount price. So that was really nice. But I really like the Joy-Con 2s. I'll take one of these out, or a couple of them, and show you guys. Like, if you guys have not seen these things before, these things feel very, very nice. So does the Switch 2 body itself. Like the screen feels, or not the screen, the tablet. The tablet feels very nice in the hands, and with the Joy-Con 2s attached here, it also feels very nice. The buttons are bigger, the joysticks are bigger. I really, really like these Joy-Con 2s, and I really also like the mouse mode as well. You can use it as a mouse. I'll talk about that more later, as I said. The SL, SR buttons are bigger on both, and as you can see, the Joy-Con, I don't have my Switch 1 controllers on me right now, but if I did, I would show you the comparison between the Joy-Con 2s and the Switch 1 Joy-Cons. So these are a massive, massive upgrade, and they're just bigger, which I really like because I've got pretty big hands here. So the Joy-Con 1s always felt a little bit cramped, and I really didn't like that as much. But I learned to deal with it for a long time, probably like 6-7 years when I first all those years ago is when I first got my Switch 1. So I learned to deal with it, and now this is a huge upgrade. The Switch 2 itself has a 7.9-inch screen, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know after watching probably a lot of these Switch 2 videos, and this console is not new. I mean, it's new this year, but it's still only been out for a couple months. So anyways, I'm sure you guys watching this have probably heard a little bit about it. So on the bottom, you can see that there's these speakers right here, and we also have the USB-C port here as well. And if you look at the top, we've got a lot more stuff to look at. We've got the power button, volume buttons, not sure what that button right there is. We got the 3 fan grills, and another USB-C port, which I've really liked for in the car and stuff, and when I'm playing in tabletop mode, I can just charge it in this USB-C port right here. We also have a headphone jack, game card slot, and the microphone. And unfortunately, I have not really been able to use the game chat feature, which I'm going to talk about a lot as well. I haven't been able to use that much because all of my friends have not picked up Switch 2s yet, and they're all stuck with Switch 1s. So that kind of stinks, but that's okay. Anyways, enough about me. Let's see what else here. I really like the kickstand as well. The kickstand has been a nice feature to have. I'm trying to turn this off here. The kickstand is nice, like I've been saying, and it's very sturdy. Surprisingly, it looks like it might not be as sturdy, but it's actually really nice. I really like it. And I guess the OLEDs might be a little bit better, but I mean, honestly, I don't think there's too much of a difference here because it gets the job done, right? And it gets it done well. So anyways, that's all really I have to say for the design. And this thing is, well, there is one more thing. I really like that it's metal instead of like plasticky. That makes it feel a lot more premium in the hands and just when you're using it. So I really like that it's like metal. I don't know. I don't know. I like that it's metal. It makes it feel more premium instead of like a kid's toy like plastic does. Alright guys, so next up I'm going to be talking to you guys about the features, and the reason I have Mario Paint booted up here is because I wanted to show you the mouse mode. I think that the mouse mode is very, very nice, and as you can see here, well, I guess you guys can't really see that well, can you? There we go. So right now I'm using the Joy-Con 2 on its side, connected to the Joy-Con 2 strap, and I'm right-handed, so I'm using the right Joy-Con. And this mouse mode I really like. It's just a really nice, cool feature. And I wanted to showcase this with Mario Paint, which I think is a good idea. I think it's very accurate, and you can also use it on your leg surprisingly well. Like if you don't have a table or surface next to you available. So I think that that's really cool. So look at this. So it's just like a computer mouse. You can do all sorts with this. There you go. And look at how easily I did that. I mean, this thing is very accurate, and I don't have any games that actually use the mouse mode besides Civilization 7, like any shooter games or anything, to really test the accuracy. But I think so far the Joy-Con 2s do a great job with the mouse mode. And it may not be the most comfortable thing ever, but the fact that it's on a Nintendo console is actually like really, really cool. So next up, let's talk about my experience with the performance. So I think the performance on this console is very, very good for a Nintendo console, and I'm glad that I'm honestly kind of like glad that they went with the performance this time around instead of a revolutionary upgrade, because the Switch 1 really was a great console, but it really lacked in its performance areas. So I really thought that that was a really nice improvement. So let's talk about that specifically. So this console in the docked mode can run up to 4K resolution, which I think is really, really cool. Now, not all games are going to support this. Like Mario Kart World, I think it's either 1080p or maybe 1440p, I'm not exactly sure, but that's quite a ways away from 4K, but it still looks really good. This console also has HDR, which I can show you guys the settings for that here. And some people have critiqued the setting up of the HDR feature. When you go to adjust HDR, you're setting it up for the first time. But I've kind of tweaked around with it, and it looks pretty good, really good for my standards. And if you set it up correctly, it should look good. It's just a little bit complicated setting it up because there's some things that they don't tell you and stuff like that. But you guys can go watch some videos about the HDR critiques later. I'm not going to critique it here. So anyways, there's HDR, and I've heard in some games like Cyberpunk and other games, there's ray tracing, and those really graphically intense games look really, really good with this console. Now, this console also uses the NVIDIA Tegra T239 chip, which is a huge upgrade over the original Switch, and it's another NVIDIA chip, which I think is cool. But this thing packs a punch, and it allows it really to run a lot of games that the original Switch would really never be able to run ever unless it got an upgrade. And that's basically what this is. This is just a huge performance upgrade. and I am very glad that we got it. Now, another feature that people have praised on this console is game chat. Now, me personally, I haven't been able to even test it out and use it because I don't have anybody who even has a Switch 2 that I know, which kind of stinks, but you know, it's all right. Don't worry about me. So, anyways, on the Switch 2 Joy-Con, right Joy-Con here, you'll click the C button, and then if you did have friends who had the Switch 2, you would click your user, create chat, and you would go select one of your friends here and then go and click next, and you'd be in. And that's what the microphone on the top of the console is used for here. So it's right about there. And I think that this is actually a really cool feature for Nintendo because they've never really had a voice chat system that is this great before. And they've just never really had anything up to this level of voice chat. And I think it's great for staying connected while you're playing games with your friends, and it's not such a hassle to actually just stay connected with them, which I think is really, really nice. Another thing I forgot to mention in this section is that the screen is 1080p, and I think it just looks gorgeous, especially with the HDR. And it can also run 120 Hertz, even though most games are not using that right now. I feel like there might be some eventually hopefully a lot, that'll use the 120 Hertz feature. So I think that that's really cool, that the screen is really nice, and it's 7.9 inches, so it's pretty big, which is good for a handheld like this. So another thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is the games. Now, a lot of people have not been very happy with Mario Kart World. Other people have been very happy with it, and it's just kind of been mixed right now with this game. And that's the one I'm playing right now. So Mario Kart World, as you can see in front of you, is on the surface it'll appear like it is a really good game, which it is, but it just has a lot of flaws. And by one of the flaws that I mean is the free roam mode. The free roam mode just feels kind of like half-baked, not quite there. And why do I say that? That's just because there is not too much to do in the free roam mode. And that's just the Nintendo just didn't add a lot of stuff to do besides P-switch missions and collecting stuff. That's pretty much it. And if you don't know what a P-switch mission is, it's kind of just in the name. It's like a mission you do, and it's really simple and can be kind of boring after a lot of them. So I barely ever use the free roam. Most of the time when I'm playing this game, it's online, surprisingly. So that kind of stinks that it's really only going to be fun to play, at least for me, online. And I wish the free roam mode was a lot better, but it's just not. So that really kind of stinks. And Nintendo has really been pushing this free roam mode that I'm actually playing in right now. I forgot to mention that's the mode I'm in right now, is free roam. And they've been really pushing everyone to play this free roam mode that's just half-baked, and it hasn't really gone that well for them. But other than that, and there is one other flaw which is the intermission tracks. The intermission tracks in this game, they've also been really pushing for you to try to play these intermission tracks. And what are the intermission tracks? Well, the intermission tracks are the tracks that go from one course to the next, traveling from one course to the next, not just on one course like we've traditionally always played, and where there's 3 laps and stuff. No, that's not the traditional Mario Kart, but that's where they've kind of moved this game, is to having these intermission tracks within this interconnected world. So that people have not really liked that they've been pushing that so much, because a lot of these intermission tracks are also kind of boring. So if you can see where I'm going with this, Mario Kart World, most of its flaws are that it's not really fun enough for a lot of people. But it is really fun if you're just playing online, even with the intermission tracks, if they're boring. But I don't know, we'll just have to see what the future holds for this game, and if people are going to keep playing it or just complain and leave, we'll just see. So it's only a few months into the game. So yeah, we'll just have to play that by ear. Another game that, like I said, I have not finished is Donkey Kong Bonanza. I have absolutely loved this game so far, and I can't wait to see what the ending and how the game plays out and what that holds. And I've also noticed that this is definitely going to be a game that's very replayable, which I really, really liked. But this is one of the main flagship games of this generation, or not this generation, this first year of the console. It's going to be one of the two main games, and this game got a 90 Metascore on Metacritic.com, which is absolutely insane. That's literally like an A, if this were like a test. And sure, it's an A-, but not many games get an A from Metacritic. So I thought that was really cool. So I thought, hey, I haven't gotten this yet. I've been wanting to get it, so I might as well just go ahead and get it. And I did, and I am loving it. Just look at this game. It looks so good. I love the destruction mechanic that they added to it. And I've never really played Donkey Kong games that much myself, but I mean, I'm loving this one so far. So now they've made me love this franchise, and I'll probably get whatever they have next if it's 3D Donkey Kong. I don't know, but I definitely don't really like the 2D Donkey Kong, 2D, 3D platforming Donkey Kongs, but I do like this 3D Bonanza Donkey Kong. So we'll see what the future holds for the next Donkey Kong. But for now, I am playing this Donkey Kong, and I really, really, really like it. And I'm not going to give any spoilers for this game, of course, because there's many people who have not played it, and I want you guys to go play it for yourselves. But I can say that this game is phenomenal, and I love the destruction mechanics. I'm loving the story. I'm loving everything with this game. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into Civilization 7 and Madden 26, which are the two third-party games that I've gotten. But I do really I have really liked Civilization 7, and like I said earlier, Madden 26 is not really my game, it's my dad and my brother's game. So, yeah. But I also really like the Switch 2 editions of Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, I'm sure, is very similar, but also as good. So I've really been liking that as well, just replaying through that game with a higher frame rate. It's always stable, you know, and everything just looks better. It's been really, really cool to play Breath of the Wild again with that Switch 2 edition, which is actually only $10, and a lot of people think that they should have been free or whatever it may be. But I think that this Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild is really, really nice. And I'm sure, like I said, the Tears of the Kingdom one is good as well. So anyways, here are my complaints with the console so far. Honestly, I only have a few. Overall, this has been a great console experience, but here they are. So, in the docked mode, if you're playing a game, really any game, any Nintendo game or third-party games especially, you'll notice that when you take it out, the console gets very, very hot. And mine hasn't actually overheated yet, where it's like I guess in danger, I guess you could say. But it definitely is noticeable that this thing gets very hot and the fan is working. So I'm not really sure what's going on in the dock, why the dock fan is not really doing its job cooling it off, or the Switch 2 doesn't use its internal fan that's in the tablet at the same time while it's in the dock. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but it definitely does have some heating issues, which has not been the best. Another issue that I've had that I haven't really experienced, because I got the Mario Kart World bundle and I got Mario Kart World for $50, but the pricing this generation, I'm not so worried about the console pricing, I'm just worried about the game pricing. And this is just where the industry is going overall, but it just does kind of suck for everybody that now we're going to have to pay for $80 games, which is a lot of money to spend on a single game. And Mario Kart World has really disappointed me in the pricing side of things, because this game, there's no way this game is worth $80 in the state that it's in right now. It's just not. It might be worth $70, and I would probably pay $70 for it, I guess. But I mean, this game is just, it's not anywhere near worth $80. And I think they just did that because this is where the industry's going. I don't know for sure, but that's definitely what it feels like. And it just kind of stinks that Nintendo is having to price things this way, like this now. So that's another thing that's really kind of bothered me. But other than that, guys, I mean, those two things have been my biggest issues. I mean, the second one isn't even really an issue with the console. And if I'm being honest, I can't really think of any other issues that I have had with this console. This console has just honestly been a magnificent experience so far. Oh, and you know what? I just did remember one other issue. I'm sorry, I remembered one other issue. The games, there are a lot of games out for the Switch 2, but not really first-party games. And most people are going to buy the first-party games. So we only really have these two games, Donkey Kong Bonanza and Mario Kart World. And Mario Kart World, again, a lot of it feels half-baked, and it's not really the true game for this system. And Donkey Kong Bonanza is a great game, but it's definitely not gonna be like a 3D Mario or anything. So I really hope that this September Nintendo shows us what they've really been working on for this console. And again, both of these two games right here, this game and this game, are great. These games are amazing games, but I just don't think that they are going to be quite the level of like a Breath of the Wild when it came out on Switch 1. It's just not going to be on that level. So I'm really excited to see, and a little bit worried as well as to what Nintendo has planned. But I mean, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see for what other games are going to put on this system. All right, everybody. So thank you so much for watching my Nintendo Switch 2 almost 3-month review. And I really appreciate you guys for watching this video today. And if you guys really enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, comment down below what you thought, and punch the notification bell. And I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. Sorry I haven't posted in a long time. I've been very busy. But I'm trying to pick up this YouTube channel again. So I really appreciate you guys watching. And I hope you guys, after watching this video, might even think about going and getting a Switch 2 yourself. I mean, I think it's worth it. But you'll just have to assess for yourself if you think that all the things I discussed and other reviews you've seen are going to make this console worth it. Anyways, that's all for Nintendo Nexus today, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.